be showing you my Halloween costume for this year, or how I'm going to make it. My boyfriend and I are both going to be the characters from Death Becomes Her. I think I talked about it in one of my other videos. As Goldie Hawn, Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis in it. Always really liked that movie for some reason. Think it's funny. And so I thought, let's do it this year. Like, why not? So, here are the supplies. This lighting is awful, so I apologize. I'm still trying to understand, like, how to look better over here. It still kind of looks, maybe if I raise this up more. Oh, there we go. I'm actually making this cake while I'm working on my Death Becomes Her costume. No real reason for this. I just had the idea and really wanted to do it. I've had this cake, Barbie cake thing, mold, for a couple years now, and I've only ever made, I think, one cake out of it, maybe two. I'm not that good at it, so I have no idea how this is going to turn out. But I basically want to make a Lydia doll, so like a Lydia from Beetlejuice in the red dress. I wanted to make a cake. I don't need to be eating a cake right now. I don't think anybody does. Or do they? I don't know. You tell me. But I got some Devil's Food cake mix here and some, let's see, red fondant that we're going to try to use, as well as some icing to go under the fondant because I don't really like fondant that much. So, alright, the ingredients are in Betty Crocker. I think it was Betty Crocker. They used to put on all their boxes a substitute for oil, so if you didn't want to use vegetable oil, and they told you to substitute applesauce for the oil. You can actually look it up on, I just googled because I couldn't remember the measurements, but basically you're just substituting the oil for applesauce and the rest is just eggs and water. And for some reason, maybe I'm crazy, but I actually think it makes it taste better. They used to say it made it like less fattening or something like that. I don't know if that's true. On to the crafting. I saw a video this guy did where he actually, his was a green screen because with his costume he was basically just showing it as a video, but since I'm going to be in person I still want to use the mirror. But he had a brilliant idea to use a takeout container from a restaurant, and I just cut out the bottom so that it gives it the effect of, like, see how there you can see the black line? Now the more this sticks out, the better it looks, but I didn't want it sticking out too far. And then what he said to do was to kind of like stuff around it with just any materials that you have so that it looks like your stomach is in line with this, since it is going to be poking out a little bit. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use hot glue and hot glue the inside, and then maybe paint it on top of that to make it look more like gutty, like guts. And then I'm going to do this maybe E6000 these two together, and then put a hole through the shirt and make this come out, and then do the same thing on the outside, if that makes any sense. So we'll see how this turns out. Wish me luck. Alright guys, just wanted to update you. I think this is actually turning out so well. There we go. So I've just been gluing hot gluing little lines. And so I've been gluing like little lines and kind of just zigzagging the glue so it looks kind of like wet and zigzaggy. And then when you look at it on here, I think it's actually going to look so cool. Like, it kind of does look like that effect. If you look up a picture of the video, if I put one in here, you'll know what I mean. Why is this still not focusing? There we go. But see how it kind of looks like inside? It's like, ooh, inside, ooh. Anyway, I will be back with another update when I get more of this finished. See you later. Alright, update. So I just finished the entire inside, and I think that looks pretty good. I don't know if I should paint the inside still. I mean, it still looks pretty dark, if that's focusing or not, but I just can't tell if you can tell that it's glue, I guess, but it looks pretty good to me. I'm gonna do a little practice run and paint. I put some glue down on a piece of newspaper, and I'm gonna paint that to see if it looks good painted, and if not, I'll leave it how it is, and if so, then I'll paint it. Be back soon. Alright, update. I ended up going with more of like a maroonish, it actually looks way darker on camera, but I did paint over the glue with that color right there that I mixed together. It's supposed to be like a maroonish, it's more of like a brownish, poopy-ish color, but I think it turned out pretty well. I'm gonna let these dry of that little foam board I had, or I cut a circle out of the foam, I guess I should say. And then if I cut a hole in the shirt, okay, like a smaller than this, and I just put some glue in the middle, maybe around it as well, and then glue, like this will be underneath the shirt, and the mirror will be on top of the shirt, that maybe that's how I attach those two things together. And then the mirror will be on top of the shirt. This will come and be on top of the mirror from the outside. I think that might work. It looks kind of cool, huh? It kind of does look like a hole. Anyway, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. I will come back after trying this on and figuring out where I want to put the hole. Okay, so my plan is I'm not gonna cut a huge hole in this. I'm going to cut a small hole. I think I'm kind of repeating myself, but I went and tried it on and I just kind of marked an idea of where the edges sat on me that made it look normal. I could probably measure it as well. I have a little ruler here. Let's see, we've got about, I'm a bit terrible at measuring. Now, and we're just gonna cut a hole. Let's mark off maybe where this is, like more accurate line. But we're gonna cut right here. So we're gonna grab, there's 2 layers to this shirt, and I do want to cut through both layers just because, but I think, so we want to do that. I'm gonna do this side like this. And cut like a little bit like that. Maybe get up around it here. But this is gonna go underneath the hole. So we want this underneath. And then we want to line it up with those little marks I made, since this is gonna be on the underside. That looks pretty darn good, I'd say. I'm gonna put some hot glue here. I need to figure out how to get my hot glue gun to reach over here. So yeah, we're gonna put some hot glue here to secure it, and then I'm gonna surround it with E6000 just because I'm that much, you know, I just really wanna make sure this stays together. And then I'm gonna fabric glue here, and then they're gonna go together. We're gonna layer some fabric glue, and then we're gonna also do the underside with fabric glue as well. You'll see in a sec. I'm gonna go get all of those tools. Okay, so I'm going to start with the fabric fusion. So I'm gonna fabric fusion the shirt to the foam. Okay, so we want a fabric fusion all where the foam meets the fabric. And again, I have no idea if this is actually gonna turn out right. I'm praying that I can actually get this shirt on once I manipulate it and everything. And it's gonna be okay, I hope. We'll see. Oh, I didn't know I was still recording. Whoops. Okay, so now I'm just setting a cardboard box between the 2 fabrics just in case I got some of that fabric fusion in there, because we don't want that. I'm also gonna go ahead and fabric fusion these 2 fabrics together because I need this to stick, you know, I don't want to have to worry about it coming off while I'm project. We're gonna put a little bit of that, and just for good measure, a little bit of, I'm gonna put more fabric fusion on the top fabric, and that's going to be for the mirror to stick to the fabric. And then we're going to just make sure it's lined up with the foam. It shouldn't move around too much since, well, with all that glue, I can't imagine anything moving around in there. Okay, next we want to take this little guy here, okay, and we're going to put him here. I do want to do a layer of maybe some kind of glossy like Mod Podge or something there on the guts, because I think that'll make it look nice and shiny again like it looked when we first hot glued it. So let me pause and I'll throw that on and we'll let it dry and come back. Alright guys, I'm back. Sorry, my battery died. I ended up doing the same process I did on the inside of the hole on the outside. So I just hot glued. I did a double layer of hot glue, and then I painted it with that same dark paint. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how it comes together. I'm pretty sure it probably weighs like 10 pounds now. So keep that in mind. And I also wasn't sure if it was a mistake to put the plate like on the like I don't know if I should have had the fabric touching this outer part here, but when I looked at how that would look, it just didn't have the same effect as if you have all this like goo on the outside. So I think it still looks okay. I'm glad I made the one for the back of the shirt smaller because, again, this shirt's gonna weigh like 20 pounds if I put too much on it. So I probably won't make the back as nice as the front. I'm excited. We're gonna let this dry and I'm gonna go work on the cake. Okay, while that is baking, we are gonna work on little Miss, well, for now she's Snow White, but she's about to get a makeover because we're gonna make her into Lydia. First of all, how can I open this? There we go, got it. I'm in. This is a little bit Jeez Liz. Okay, I made an interesting discovery with this Little Miss Snow White here. She has this like this is actually like hard, I think. Like her hair right here, and I don't know where it's traveling to back here, but I think I can just like cut this out to make the bangs. Let's see. I'm just gonna go for it. There we go. I'm thinking if I can use this that came in the box to tie up her little messy bun. Maybe that looks dumb. Does that look dumb? Let's see if we can just kind of do this. Not like that. All right, and we're back. So this is what I've got so far. I put her hair in like a little, she actually came with a clear rubber band and a black rubber band, so I made a big ponytail and then made like a bun and then kind of just like messed it up. And then I ended up cutting some of her curls off because Lydia's hair is actually a little bit straighter. Now I'm just trying to figure out how I can separate the bang and make them look all, you know, not pasty, hard, gelled, you know what I'm saying. All right, I had an idea, so I'm thinking bobby pin it. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'm back. I think she's actually looking pretty good. What do we think? I think she needs some dark eye bags and maybe, I'm thinking maybe I could paint like where her mouth is to make it look like it's not smiling. Maybe that's too extra. I don't know. Here's her up close. I ended up just spraying those bangs until they got really crispy, and then I super glued them at the top so they stayed in place. So far it seems to be working. Let's go ahead and give that another little coat. And there we have it, Miss Lydia. Okay, I think she's looking pretty cute. I added some, like just a little bit of eyeshadow under her eye. I also painted in where her teeth were, so it looks like she's still smiling, but I just thought it looked more Lydia-ish. But I think she looks good. I like it. I'm gonna go check on the cake. Okay, I know she's not looking so good right now, but what I had to do is the Barbie that comes with these cakes, they have like no legs basically. They come that way, and then they have like a little stick that you can put into the hole that's pre-made in the cake mold. They were gonna have to go regardless. So I found some of these dowel rods, wired them together, and she'll stick right in the cake like that. Actually know how to work with fondant very well, so this isn't a tutorial. I'll just say that. This is just me. Just me. That's all I gotta say. Alright, I'm gonna do some more of this. I'll come back when it's time to cut out the shape. How long, I guess, do we need this ruffle to be is the question. Like that. Wide. And if anything, I guess I should measure this to make sure it's a straight line. Oh yeah, look how thick. That might be too thick, actually. I'm gonna try to set this on the cake, so let's go over to her and let's... This is so hard. Wait a second, I need to Google this. We need to Google. Okay guys, I am exhausted, but I think I have figured out how to maybe get this ruffle shape. It's obviously not the professional way at all whatsoever, but I don't know what else to do. So I'm just kind of like putting my finger in the middle to like get the bottom part and then pinching it at the top. I tried Googling things, but everybody, you know, they're all professionals that like have these special tools, and I'm like, I don't have one of those, you know what I mean? Like, I don't have those. But like everybody I was watching was like making the ruffles elsewhere and then sticking them on the cake. So I'm like, okay, I guess I should make ruffles. I'm thinking this cake isn't going to turn out that cute, but at least I'll have cake at the end. You know, I can look on the bright side. It's fine. Anyways, I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll come back to you when I am sticking it on the princess. Okay, I think I solved the mystery. Maybe. Not sure how it's going to work going up the cake. Making the ruffles first. It did actually come apart a little bit when I was trying to carry it over, but it kind of had like a memory to it, so I'm hoping that that means that this is gonna work. Please work. Okay, I'm gonna make a couple more, and I'll be back. Alright, I just wanted to update you guys. I think it's actually looking pretty good. No? Maybe? Oh, there's a crack right there I gotta fix. But either way, I mean, not half bad for not having a clue what I'm doing. I'm gonna keep doing this process till I get to the top of her and then figure out how I want to cover the body. BRB? Now I'm going to, before I put the last layer on the top, I'm thinking maybe I should do her shirt first. I'm thinking I should do this shirt, and then that way the ruffles come up around the shirt, if that makes any sense. I'm obviously not going to eat what's on her body because she's covered in glitter, but it's just for the look. I will be back. I'm going to roll this out and see if I can like make some shapes to make the top, and I will BRB. Okay, update. I made this little top, so I'm gonna make the bodice part, then do the back, then put the ruffles on, and then do the sleeves. I think that's gonna be what makes the most sense. She's really looking much like Lydia at this point. Maybe it's too fancy. I don't know. I still love her. I think she looks so cute, her little face and her little bangs. Maybe if I do take this off, that will help. Yeah, I think that makes it more Lydia Deetz, huh? Without the crown. I'm gonna put on a couple more ruffles. I added a little belt because I couldn't figure out how to finish off the thing. It does not look good up close, so I'm not gonna be zooming in on that, not gonna lie, but let's keep ruffling it up. Okay guys, it is the next day. Between making a cake and doing this and letting it dry, there's not enough time in the day, basically. But this is how it turned out. I think it looks pretty cool. I put the shirt on, I'm still able to put it on, so that's good. I was worried about doing this and then not being able to wear it after, because that's the whole point. I think I might do a glossy layer on top of this. I just don't have the tools to do that right now, so I'm gonna probably have to go to the store. But now it's time to work on the back. So we're basically just gonna do the same process on the back of the shirt. Next, we're gonna repeat that same process that we did earlier, where we hot glue the outside. So just like that. I'm probably not gonna do it as nice on the back of the shirt just because I don't have that much time to care, honestly, and it's the back, so it's fine. I was thinking about it, and I probably should have done the smaller one, like this smaller end on the front of the shirt, and then the thicker one on the back to make it kind of look like the bullet went in, or you know, the blast went through me. Like it would have been thicker on the back end probably. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's too late to care, honestly, so that's fine. I'm gonna keep doing this and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, so now I finished the outer parts. I'm just putting a little line so that the shirt and the hole are connected, so it's not just like stuck together. That way it just doesn't look like it just drops off like it does right here. So I'm just trying to connect that, make it look a little bit smoother. Really hoping I can get this shirt on after doing the back side. I'm hoping. It wasn't an issue at all getting the front on, or with the front done, I mean. I'm a little nervous about the back being done as well. But it's a pretty stretchy shirt, so if for some reason you were gonna make this, well, maybe you're smarter than me and you have a better idea on how to get this effect, but definitely make sure the shirt is stretchy, because I'm not sure this would have worked otherwise. I actually really like how this top looks. I might look for it on eBay again and get another one that I can just wear, because that's how much I like it. I think it fits really nicely. And I kind of remember when this was like a big thing, like, I don't remember what year or whatever, but I remember these like wrap shirts being popular, and I think I actually had a red one from Express or somewhere like that. But I'm gonna continue this, and I will see you guys when it's time to paint. All right, now the glue is dry and we are ready to paint. Okay, so now I'm probably gonna have to do at least like 2 layers of this on here across the room, but we just want to make sure we get in between all these little crevices. And I'm even gonna paint, like put a little bit of the paint on the shirt itself just to kind of make it look, you know, not so perfect circle. So we're just gonna do this all the way around. And I'm sorry I don't film like the whole thing. For me to film me just doing the same thing all the way around, you know, the longer your footage you have, then the more, like, just for me to have to just speed it up anyway, I'd rather just kind of say like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I'll be back when it's done, kind of a thing, you know, edit hours of footage. So I try to just say, okay, what would be like the most important thing that I would show, and then I can kind of like pause and come back when I'm on to the next step, because that's just the easiest way for me to do it. So I hope that's okay. I am gonna go ahead and continue this, and I will be back when it's complete. Okay, I just finished painting it. Let's zoom in there and see. So while this paint dries, I'm gonna go get my boyfriend's costume and do that. I think this is all that I really need to do for mine. I think this will be, once I get that clear coating on the whole thing, it'll be done. But for now, let's go get his apron. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and get these cracked open. I ended up just hooking this to the wall because I'm like out of counter space basically. We can just kind of throw like the paint on there, like that kind of a thing. That. And then what I'm gonna do is, these are really old brushes. I'm just going to leave the paint on there to dry so that when it's in his pocket, it looks like he's been painting with them. I was able to make this sort of my skin tone looking color. It kind of matches a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of toss that on there now, because you'll see in the movie, he does paint her body, her makeup, like he's kind of working on all of it. So I'm just gonna, technically he used a spray paint, but we don't have spray paint, so this is just how it's gonna. So I went to the store, got some of this super gloss Mod Podge, and I'm just gonna do a little coat on here, which will be shiny and sealed. Okay, I just finished this coat.
Oh yeah.
Let me zoom in here so you can see her. Point down, please. Beep. I think there's a difference. It looks a little shinier with that gloss on it now. I like it. It makes it look more like it just happened. Not sure this is like as good as I could have done, but hopefully when I put it on, it has the effect I want. I feel like people are gonna be like, why do you have a mirror on your stomach with goopy black stuff? But hopefully they'll get it. Sorry, I'm chewing fries. So now I'm just gonna let this dry, and then flip it over to the other side, let that dry, and then I'll put it all on so you can see what it's gonna look like. I guess that's it. Hey guys, this is the end result. I think it looks really cool. I have my wig on. Here's the pants all the way down to the shoes. I think I did a pretty good job. From the side it kind of looks a little strange, obviously, because these are like sticking out, and you can see if you look up close where because this can't sit flat against my stomach, and it was a little hard to get on, but overall I think it looks pretty sick.